Remember when times were simpler? When finishing school meant that you could go play on your Xbox in the afternoon? When it didn't cost $1,000 a year to just keep your car going? When the only time you heard Bill was when it was preceded by Bubble-O? I like remembering those times. Those times make me feel nostalgic. And the game that I remember most fondly from that time was a game where you got to play as like this super criminal person who could drive fast. It made the Fast and the Furious look like the fast and the slow people. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Need for Speed Most Wanted. No, not this garbage. This Need for Speed Most Wanted. That's right, 2005 brought one of the hottest games of the century. Need for Speed Most Wanted, a game where you got to play as a BMW driver. You lose a race and you lose your BMW and you lose your girl. It's pretty sad, pretty traumatic for a child. But nevertheless, you go on an absolute fury streak, defeating everyone and their dog to get that car back. This is a review of Need for Speed Most Wanted. What made Need for Speed Most Wanted so good? Well, it starts with an engaging storyline. Most Wanted featured a storyline with memorable characters, particularly the main antagonist, Razor, and the mysterious Mia. The plot centered around reclaiming the player's car and rising up the blacklist to be one of the top street racers. It was a super strong narrative and gave you a real reason to dislike the antagonist. I've never felt that way towards an antagonist in a racing game. I mean, this dude was just the worst. And along that storyline, you got to race against really cool cars. And when you beat them, you got to take their car. It was like the ultimate disrespect. Like, I took your spot on the blacklist, and now I'm gonna take your car. Speaking of cars, it was super awesome that you could like customize your car pretty much however you wanted. There was all sorts of body kits. You could chuck flames on there, stripes on there, change the color. It was just awesome. It was based in an open world environment as well, which meant that there was always something you could do. The replayability of this game was absolutely amazing. The city was well designed with diverse environments, from urban areas to industrial zones, offering challenges and races. There were like super cool jumps and shortcuts that you could take during races as well, that like offered their own cinematic. Not only that, but there was super intense police chases. Police chases where you genuinely had to try hard to escape from them. It was like GTA with at least 3 or 4 stars, and a lot of the time, you would be running away for 20 to 30 minutes just to get to a cooldown zone. It made the game super engaging and gave you a challenge that was sort of different to just your normal racing games. Like most racing games, there were varied race types as well, like a wide variety. This kept the gameplay fresh and engaging. These race types were circuit races, sprint races, and drag races, and unique challenging events that tested different driving skills. The soundtrack was mint on this game. It was like a mix of hip-hop and rock and electronic music, and it complemented the game's high-energy vibe so well. The audio design also contributed to the immersive experience, with realistic car sounds and police radio chatter adding to the tension. And for its time, the graphics were phenomenal. I mean, they were just, whew. There was detailed car models, dynamic lighting, and weather effects way beyond its time. The visual presentation helped to create this immersive and visually appealing racing experience. And the racing experience was awesome. It was like a balance between arcade and simulation. See, the game struck a fine balance between those two, and this made it appealing to both casual gamers and racing enthusiasts. And that's pretty well it. The combination of an open world, dynamic police chases, a variety of races and challenges, it all made it super replayable. Players could always find new ways to enjoy the game, whether through exploration or high-speed pursuits, or just perfecting their race times. Overall, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 succeeded by combining engaging gameplay mechanics, a compelling open world environment to make the most highly enjoyable racing game experience. I think that if you haven't played it yet, definitely get it. Find a copy, get an emulator. I think it's backwards compatible. Get on, play the game. It's just is phenomenal. It gives you that nostalgic feeling, but even in today's environment, the storyline, everything about it is just And yeah, that's it. If you like the video, and subscribe, because we're chasing 500 before the end of June, so please